Hello you lovely lot, my name is Max and welcome back to my YouTube channel and another Nottingham Forest video. So today we are back with some more tactics and transfers for your viewing pleasure. Today talking about Morgan Gibbs-White, the Wolves midfielder who is heavily linked to Nottingham Forest at the moment in a deal rumoured to be in the region of £20 to £25 million, what would stand as being a club record fee should it be completed. We will be discussing his role in helping Sheffield United reach the playoffs last season and how he would be integrated into this Nottingham Forest side when we move into the Premier League and play our first fixture in around 6 weeks' time. As he will be a replacement for the recently departed Philip Zinchenko, I will be using the Dane as a barometer to measure and compare Morgan Gibbs-White against in this video. And as always, I will leave my sources in the description of this video so you can check them out for yourself. So before we do that, don't forget to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel whilst you're down there and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a single one of these tactics and transfers video. We're getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. I cannot believe it. Can you, Adam and Eve? We're getting close to it. And obviously, when we hit it, I want to do something to celebrate. So let me know in the comments what you want to see me do, whether that be a Q&A or whatever. We'll see what we can do. And with that being said, let's start talking about Morgan Gibbs-White and hopefully I move to the City ground this summer. Morgan Gibbs-White joined the Wolves Academy at the age of 8, spending the best part of a decade in the academy of one of the most prestigious clubs in the country, making his debut for the team at the age of 16 in the FA Cup against Stoke City. And from here, he would go from strength to strength, signing a new contract in 2020, which will keep him to the club until the end of next season, and would see him then eventually loaned out to Steve Cooper's Swansea during the 2020-21 campaign during the first half of it. However, impressive performances would see him recalled to the Wolves squad for the second half of the season during the January transfer window, for whom he has already made over 80 appearances in all competitions over the course of his very brief career. And the 22-year-old England youth international is coming off the back of his best club season to date, notching 11 goals and 9 assists over the course of the campaign, in which he reached the playoff semi-finals with Sheffield United. For this team, he predominantly played as a number 10, slightly wide to the right of an orthodox number 9, or as a forward during the latter half of the season, particularly due to injuries to the likes of Ryan Brewster, Billy Sharp and Ollie McBurney, and he still did a decent job there, to be fair. And as a forward, his attacking stats are definitely where he thrives, taking a similar amount of shots per match to Philip Zinchenko, whilst also dwarfing both his expected goals and goal output this season. He's also creating over 1 chance per match, which is more than Philip Zinchenko, and outputting more expected assists over the course of each match, with around 0.25 per match. Where he's slightly less effective is in terms of his defensive output. He only attempts around 3.5 defensive actions per match compared to 8 from Philip Zinchenko. However, he is more efficient than the Dane when he does this. He has a higher success rate, is what I'm trying to say, and also completes a similar amount of interceptions than the Dane. Finally, he's just really good at operating up and down the right-hand side of the pitch, where Forest are probably at their strongest, and with Jed Spence leaving the squad this summer, definitely need to bolster down that right-hand side. And I've always thought in terms of his style, he's definitely a lot closer to Brennan Johnson than Philip Zinchenko, but that definitely won't be a bad thing, and I definitely think those two will cause all kinds of problems in the Premier League next season for most teams. So overall, Morgan Gibbs-White is a proven attacking threat. He's had 2 really successful loan spells in the Championship, including one at Steve Cooper's Swansea City a couple seasons back. So he knows the coach and he would thrive in our system. The only issue I think that really surrounds this deal is the fee, which is rumoured to be approximately close to £25 million, which is a club record fee, and potentially his Premier League quality, having only had limited opportunities in the Premier League over the course of the last couple of seasons for the parent club Wolves. So with that little introduction out of the way, let's start talking about Morgan Gibbs-White tactically and how he lines up in this very impressive Sheffield United squad that reached the playoffs this season. Okay then, so Sheffield United this season have predominantly played a 3 at the back system, which you can see here on the tactics board in the blue, and this is our man Morgan Gibbs-White here on the right hand side of the pitch. Now this 3 at the back formation can take the form of something closer to a 3-4-3 with 2 very tight inside forwards playing off the striker who's basically the point man, or it can take the form of something closer to a 3-4-1-2, something a bit more similar stylistically to Nottingham Forest, with our man here, Morgan Gibbs-White, predominantly playing off the right-hand side in a similar role to that of Brennan Johnson. Either way, his role in this squad is to sort of create chances, get goal scoring opportunities, and really run the right hand side of this channel. He's also spent time playing in a midfield position, in a central midfield position. I definitely think this is probably where he's at his weakest. He doesn't offer too much defensively, so if I was Steve Cooper, I'd definitely avoid doing that, although I'm sure he knows that full too well. And he's also played as part of a front two during the back end of this season alongside Iliman and Jai. That was predominantly due to injuries to the likes of Billy Sharp, Ollie McBurney, but he still did a really, really suitable job down here and was predominantly playing off the right-hand side, creating chances and running that right-hand channel. Sheffield United's system is still a three-at-the-back system, still got quite a lot of similarities to that of when Chris Wilder was at the club, with the wing-backs coming to slightly narrower positions and offering the ability for centre-backs to get up on the overlap. This isn't as aggressive as it used to be under Chris Wilder. The team definitely prefers to do this when they're ball side, but they'll definitely be a little bit more reserved when they need to be. Sheffield United were also one of the most aggressive crossing sides last season in their wing backs. They have some pretty good crossers of the ball, and in players like Ollie McBurney, Rhian Brewster, Billy Sharp, number 9s who are pretty big, pretty physical, can operate in the box and are really good at receiving the ball from crossing situations. And Gibbs-White's also really good at this. He's really good at driving at the defence, driving it down towards the byline into these sorts of areas. If we shift the opposition back a little bit just to make it a little bit more realistic here, and having the ability to find players either on the byline from a cutback. He can get sort of flatter balls in towards the front post for the forward to run onto. He can just do the traditional sort of crossed ball maybe into the back post. His ability in and around the wide areas of the box to get the ball to somebody, whether that's a striker, another midfielder, someone making a late run into the box, is really, really good. And I definitely think that'll be a huge asset for Forest, whether he's doing that off the right or off the left, which he's also comfortable in doing for Sheffield United. So yeah, overall his strengths really rely in these sort of half space areas, picking the ball up, driving it, crossing it back, but he can also pick it up in more central positions. He's a good threat from distance. He's a good shooter of the ball, or a good striker of the ball, I should say. He can create chances inside here for his sort of target man to run onto. He's good operating within the width of the goal, but he can also operate in wider areas. And again, that flexibility that he's got is definitely a huge asset going forward for this Forest side. So whilst I think Morgan Gibbs-White is probably a little bit better playing in an advanced right position, playing off the right-hand side of a striker, I can definitely see him thrive in playing off the left, playing in more central areas. I think as long as you can get the ball into his feet to cause problems, that's really his strength, is receiving the ball and doing things with it when he's got it. Some players, Brennan Johnson particularly, he's good at running onto the ball, sort of from through balls or from balls over the top or whatever, but this is the kind of player who wants the ball into feet so he can cause problems to the opposition. And just in general, I think a front three of Taiwo Awoniyi, Brennan Johnson and Morgan Gibbs-White is particularly threatening, and I genuinely think like a mid-table, at least, front three, one of the better ones in the league. It just has that rotation, that flexibility, 3 clinical players who are goal scorers but can also create for their teammates, and probably most importantly 3 players who do a lot of running, cover a lot of ground, and I think could cause some problems to most Premier League defences. Of course, as always, let me know in that comment section down below what you think of the signing of Morgan Gibbs-White. I've done this back to back with the Nico Williams video because from what we're seeing, they seem to be 2 deals heavily rumoured to be completed by Nottingham Forest in the next week or so. I would like to Taiwo Awoniyi join the club, Dean Henderson's loan, all but confirmed. It's starting to turn into a pretty decent summer for Nottingham Forest. So of course, in the comments below, let me know what you think Morgan Gibbs-White is going to do for Forest. And of course, whilst you're down there, don't forget to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single video coming up on the channel. We've still got a few rumours in the transfer market to get through, and obviously as they come I will make these kinds of videos for them, and obviously the match previews will be returning when we kick off in the Premier League in around 6 weeks time. With that being said though, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week, Reds. I will catch you later.